So by now you should have copied down these notes again, just these three questions, because this is what we're going to be using every time that we're trying to figure out how we can come up with an idea for poetry using a mentor poem. Today we're not going to be doing an ode poem, we're going to do something different. It's called a concrete poem or a shape poem. Talk to your groups. What do you think a concrete or a shape poem is? So you might have talked about this. A concrete poem is a poem that's in the shape of what it's talking about. Write that down. Let's take a look at some and think about what might work for us in these poems. Let's take a look at some of these. So the first one we're going to look at right here, this one's really cute. This one's about a tennis ball, and you'll see that it's in a shape of a dog here, and then this little circular thing is supposed to be the tennis ball that the dog is holding on to. So take a look at what the poem says. Slobbery, slappy, slimy sphere, oh tennis ball, I hold you dear, you bounce, I bound up in the air, we make the most inseparable pair. This is almost like an ode poem too, because it's talking about a tennis ball. But the fact that it's in the shape of a tennis ball makes it a concrete poem. Let's look at another one to see if maybe this will make more sense. This one's in a shape of a teardrop. This one's a little bit sadder. This one goes like this. I cry, I know you aren't here no more. I wish you were. I loved you so much. Why did you have to go? I didn't know. You could have fight. I guess you were weak after your operation. I wish I could help. Seeing you weak made me sad day after day. You got weaker and weaker. But one day you left. You passed away. I miss you, Uncle. So this one is a sad poem, and it's in the shape of a teardrop, because that's what the poem is about. It's about sadness. So we're kind of figuring out here that concrete poems are poems that are in the shape of what they're talking about. Let's take a look at one more. And this one's a little bit shorter, and it's another kind of more serious one. So this one's in the shape of an anchor. Like if you don't know what an anchor is, an anchor looks like this. That's an anchor right there. Boop. So it's in the shape of an anchor. That's what holds a ship down in the water if it to make it so that it doesn't go anywhere. So this poem goes, it is an anchor that hits rock bottom every day, yet he does not ever cry. He stays strong and rises again. So this one is about staying strong, but it's in the shape of something that represents something that stays strong and holds everything together. So I'm already noticing a few things that really work for me. One thing I really liked about this poem is that it's in the shape of something that represents what it's about. So I'm just going to write that down. I also really like this one with the dog. I like this one in that it uses so many adjectives. If you notice, he said slobbery, slappy, slimy, sphere. This is alliteration because they all start with the same letter. So I'm going to go ahead and write down alliteration. And I also love all of the adjectives it uses. So it was talking about the tennis ball, so it just used a bunch of adjectives to describe that tennis ball. I actually, today you have in front of you a list of adjectives like this. It's got all sorts of words that you could use in your poems today, so that's something that you could think about using. I'm going to give you a couple seconds with your group. Think about this poem, this poem, this poem, and think about what worked for you in these poems and what might you do in your own poems today. Go ahead and take a second to think about that and jot some things down. Ready, set, go. Now that we have an idea of what we liked about these poems or what we might be able to do in our own poems and what these are, let's talk about how you could get started today. So I know that, and this is the same thing as happened yesterday, the first thing I always have to do is pick an idea. For this poem, I think it'd be useful to pick an idea. I mean, really, you could pick anything. You could pick a memory. You could pick something that you just really love, kind of like from your heart map. You could pick something that you know how to do. So really, the sky is the limit for which topics that you want. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just take a look at my stuff here. And I remember picking procrastinating the last time I was trying to pick an idea of something to write about. And I think I might want to do procrastinating again. If you remember, procrastinating is waiting until the last minute to do something. I'm sure a lot of you do that as well. So I do this a lot, waiting to the last minute to do something. So I think I'm gonna do procrastinating. So I just did my first step, pick an idea. The second step is to pick something that could represent that idea. This is going to be your shape. So if I'm trying to think about procrastinating and it's waiting for the last minute to do something, I think I might want to do a clock. So I got procrastinating as my idea, and then in terms of something that represents that, probably a clock, because it's that I wait to the last minute to do something. Now I just need to write the poem, and I probably want to use alliteration and some adjectives to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up to a new page. I'm going to write down procrastinating concrete poem, which I'll probably make a better title later. And then I think I'm just going to draw where I'm going to write the words. So here's my clock, and I think I'm going to write the words around here. And then a clock has two hands. So I think I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to, maybe I'll fill it with words like this, and then I need a really long one like this. So this is my minute hand, and then my hour hand, and I'm just going to write words all around here. So maybe I'll just start writing some onomatopoeias. Tick, tack, tick, tack. The time. I'm just going to start writing about procrastinating. Let's see if I can do it really fast. Really fast. I probably could do a better job. But I just wrote tick tock, the time is passing, but I haven't started yet. 5 minutes until I have to go, and still I'm not ready. Perhaps I'll get started now, or perhaps I'll wait some more. That might best work, but you get the idea. It's in the shape of what I'm talking about, and it's about procrastinating, so that all kind of works together. So today, you're going to follow these steps, kind of figure out maybe how to do a shape poem. Here are the steps. Pick an idea, pick something that can represent it, and then write the poem. You want to use all these things that you put in number 2. Use what's in number 2. But that's the plan. Write one shape poem. You can write a bunch of them, but the only rule is that you have to be writing poetry the entire time. Ready, set, go.